talk about, 3 or 4 B players equaling 1 A player. And I think this is such an important concept for everyone listening who has a team or is thinking about building a team. Have you found, is it possible to, let's say, take a B player and support them or work with them so that they can become an A player? Or have you found that if somebody is a B player, they're a B player for a reason, and that there's some kind of limiting factor that's just going to hold them back unless they really make a change internally themselves? Like, is that something that you can support from them being a B player to get to being an A player?
Yeah, so I'll say to you that it's probably more about me, that I have been not terribly successful in that, converting people from B to A. But I think that it is possible for people to become A players. There's a couple of conditions that are required. So the first condition is that they've got to feel that, the trust. They've got to feel supported. So secure, they've got to feel supported. They've got to feel significant. In other words, you put responsibility on them. If somebody isn't willing to assume the mantle of responsibility and run with it, they'll never be an A player, right? So if you give them the challenge, smart people will rise to that challenge. Smart people will figure it out. And I mean, so, and I shouldn't say smart people, because I think most people are smart, but people that have that, as we'd say, the je ne sais quoi, like the grit to say, okay, I want to do this. They'll get switched on by that. People that aren't ready to be part of the A team, what they'll do is they see that challenge, and it's not that it's in the too hard bucket, but they might just not want to do it, right? They're willing to work hard, but they don't want that other thing. And when I talk about A player, it's not just that you can do a ton of work. It's that I can give you the parameters of what needs to be done. I can tell you what the target that we're trying to reach is, and you'll figure out the rest. So I don't need to really do much more than just make sure that you've got, support, you've got resources, you've got funding, you've got direction. I give you air cover. I create the conditions for your success. So, that's on you as a leader. You've got to create the conditions for those people to be successful. If you're not prepared to do that, they'll never become an A player. And then it's, the other part about it is that it's on you to kind of recognize if the experiment isn't working out. And I would say to you that as I got more seasoned, I began to realize that it's actually an act of kindness to take somebody who probably won't be an A player out of the position where they're going to feel that they're overwhelmed, or that they're not delivering, or that they're losing your trust, or any of those things, right? So we often make the mistake of like, this person did this really well, let's promote them. And I'll go back to my geology experience. The only path for progression in your career as a geologist was into the management track. Right. So if you were a fantastic geologist, great with the science, really good with the ideation, really good with the data analysis, really good with coming up with ideas and explaining the science behind it and figuring out, if you were great and you found something or you did something great, the only way you could be promoted really was into management.
Right.
And so they would get promoted into management where they had absolutely no training, no inclination, no desire, and they were disastrous. And the impact on the organization from a demotivation perspective of somebody who doesn't want to be there, but is being put there because that's the only way they can get promoted, is terrible. So you have to recognize that some people are just, they can be an A player, but maybe not within a team environment. They might have to be an individual contributor. So again, that's on you to figure out what is going to unleash somebody's superpowers. And then there are those people that are just never going to be, but they're going to be solid B players and making stuff happen. And you need those too. You need those too.
Great